There's a moment in every life where everything shifts, not because the world changes, but because you change. It's the moment you realize that waiting for the perfect conditions, the perfect time, or the perfect opportunity is a lie you've been telling yourself. You've been burning precious time, convincing yourself that you're not ready yet, that things need to be aligned first. But let me ask you, how much longer are you willing to wait? Every second you put off your growth is another second lost to self-doubt, fear, and regret. The truth burns, doesn't it? You've been waiting for life to hand you the answers, the solutions, the perfect moment to act. But here's the reality. Transformation doesn't wait for the right moment to show up. It's a choice. It's about choosing to take action right now in the face of uncertainty and discomfort. The Stoics knew this. They understood that our response to life's challenges defines us, not the challenges themselves. You can control your reactions, your mindset, and your actions, and through those, you shape your future. If you're ready to stop waiting and start building the life you deserve, please subscribe. It's like taking a step toward living with purpose, wisdom, and true freedom. Let's dive in and uncover the power you already hold. 1. Take responsibility for your life. You are the author of your own story. How often do we hear that? But how often do we truly believe it? It's easy to get caught up in the blame game, pointing fingers at the circumstances, the people around us, or the events that seem to control our lives. Maybe it's your job that isn't fulfilling, a past mistake that keeps haunting you, or the lack of opportunities that hold you back. But what if I told you that the real power doesn't lie in those things? What if I told you the real power is in how you respond to them? This is where the Stoics have a lesson for us. They taught that life is unpredictable and often out of our hands, but how we react to those challenges is entirely within our control. The moment you realize that, everything begins to shift. When you take responsibility for your life, you take back control. No more waiting for someone else to fix it for you. No more waiting for the perfect moment to begin. There is no perfect moment. That's a lie we've been told for too long. The perfect time to make a change is right now. Take responsibility for the choices you've made, for where you are, and most importantly, for where you're going. The Stoics teach us that our response to adversity defines us, not the adversity itself. Taking responsibility doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties life throws at us. It doesn't mean pretending things are always easy or that we have all the answers. It simply means embracing the truth. You have control over how you approach what happens to you. Your mindset, your actions, and your responses to life's obstacles are yours to decide. Instead of waiting for everything to be perfect, ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve this situation? Don't wait for someone to save you. Be your own hero. The journey toward transformation starts with this understanding. You're the one who will ultimately shape your life. You're the one who can start right now to build the life you want. This isn't a call to perfection, but to intention. Don't wait for a sign or a big shift in the world around you. The sign is right here. It's in the way you choose to act, how you choose to think, and how you choose to respond to what life hands you. And remember, you don't have to have all the answers today. The process of taking responsibility is a gradual one, but it starts with that first decision to stop waiting and start living with purpose. You might be sitting there thinking, but what if I've made mistakes? What if I've already lost time? Here's the thing, the Stoics didn't view mistakes as failures. They viewed them as lessons. And that's something important to remember. No mistake is truly wasted if we learn from it. Take ownership of your past, not as something that defines you, but as something that teaches you. Every wrong turn, every setback is part of your story. But what matters most is the next step you take. The question isn't how far you've fallen, but how quickly you can rise again. Once you take responsibility for your life, you start to realize something profound. You have the potential to turn things around at any moment. Don't let the fear of failure paralyze you. Don't let the shame of past mistakes prevent you from moving forward. Every day is an opportunity to rewrite your story. You can start right now. The simple truth is that no one else is coming to save you, and that's the best news you can hear. You are the one who holds the key to change. Taking responsibility for your life also means embracing the uncomfortable truths. It's about being brutally honest with yourself. Are you where you want to be? Are the choices you're making today truly helping you become the person you want to be? It's tempting to place blame on others or on external factors, but this mindset only keeps you stuck. It robs you of your power. The moment you embrace responsibility, you stop making excuses and start taking control. Life doesn't have to be perfect to move forward. You don't need everything to be aligned to start, but you do need to take that first step. 2. Be mindful of your thoughts and emotions. How often do you pause to check in with yourself? If you're like most of us, probably not enough. We rush through life, constantly reacting to what's happening around us, whether it's a stressful email, a traffic jam, or the endless demands of daily responsibilities. But what if I told you that the key to breaking out of this cycle of reaction lies in something as simple yet powerful as mindfulness? Mindfulness isn't just a trendy buzzword. It's a practice, a tool that helps you become aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions in a way that transforms how you experience life. We live in a world that moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and often we don't even realize we're caught in the whirlwind until we're exhausted or burnt out. The truth is, we're so caught up in reacting to life's demands that we forget to reflect. But here's where mindfulness comes in. It's the practice of noticing, of simply becoming aware of what's going on inside your mind and body without judgment. When was the last time you really took a moment to stop and reflect on what you were feeling and why? Chances are, it's been a while, and I get it. It's easy to get swept up in the flow. But that's exactly why mindfulness is so crucial. It's the pause button we all need. Mindfulness doesn't mean you won't feel frustration, anger, or sadness. It's not about denying your feelings or pretending everything's okay when it's not. Rather, mindfulness gives you the ability to observe your emotions without being consumed by them. Instead of automatically reacting to the next stressor, you take a step back, observe how you're feeling, and make a conscious decision on how you want to move forward. This is how you break the cycle of automatic responses that keep you stuck in old patterns. It's about creating space between the stimulus, the external event, and your reaction to it. And that space, that's where your growth happens. It's easy to get trapped in habitual patterns of thinking. You wake up, you rush through your day, and before you know it, you're reacting to the world around you without ever pausing to think about why you're doing what you're doing. But when you practice mindfulness, you begin to notice the patterns. Maybe you snap at people more than you'd like, or you feel a sense of dread about your day before it's even begun. Mindfulness lets you become aware of these thoughts and feelings, not to judge them, but to understand them. What are these patterns trying to tell you? Why do you feel a certain way at certain times? The more you practice this awareness, the more you start to break free from those unconscious habits and choose a different, more intentional response. This practice of mindfulness can be applied to almost any situation in life. It doesn't have to be reserved for big moments like traffic jams or stressful meetings. It can be as simple as checking in with yourself after a difficult conversation or before you head into an important decision. Think of mindfulness as a constant companion, a tool you carry with you that helps you make better, more informed decisions every single day. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And soon you'll find that reacting out of impulse, frustration, or stress becomes less and less of an automatic response. Instead, you'll be making more thoughtful, deliberate choices that align with the person you want to be. 3. Take action no matter what. One of the most powerful lessons from Stoicism is the importance of action. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of change, to imagine all the ways your life could be different. You might read every self-help book, watch endless motivational videos, and plan out every step. But here's the hard truth. Nothing will change until you act. Thinking about change is not the same as actually making it happen. It's easy to put things off, isn't it? You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll do it once I have more time, or I just need to get everything perfect first. But guess what? Tomorrow never comes. You'll always find a reason to delay, to wait for the conditions to be just right. The Stoics taught us something essential. Life doesn't wait for the perfect moment. In fact, the perfect moment often never shows up. If you want to see change, you have to make it happen right now, with the resources and time you have available. It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be now. This is where taking action becomes so critical. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need everything to be lined up perfectly. You just need to take that first step. It might be starting that workout you've been thinking about, writing the first line of that book, or making that call you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, the first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, momentum starts to build. Small actions may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they compound into real, lasting change. Each step you take adds up, building your confidence and creating momentum that pushes you forward. It's all too easy to stay in the planning phase, isn't it? We convince ourselves that thinking things through is enough. But here's a hard truth. If we stay in our heads too long, we never move forward. I get it. You want to be sure of every step, you want to be ready, and you don't want to fail. But here's the reality. Failure is not the enemy. Procrastination is. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple truth reminds us that action should always be aligned with our values and goals. If you believe in something, if you know it's the right thing to do, then act on it now. The beauty of action is that it creates clarity. Sometimes we get stuck in analysis paralysis, trying to plan every detail and predict every outcome. But life doesn't work like that. Action is the antidote to confusion. By taking that first step, you begin to see things more clearly. The road becomes more defined, and your fears of making the wrong move slowly fade away. It's only by doing that we truly learn what works, what doesn't, and where we need to adjust. Action gives you the feedback you need to keep moving forward. So, how do you start? Right now, in this moment. Stop waiting for the stars to align or for some future moment of clarity. What can you do today? Maybe it's as simple as setting a small goal or taking one small action that will get the ball rolling. You don't need to make giant leaps. Just make sure you're moving forward. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. We've all been there. The feeling of being stuck, of waiting for the perfect moment. But what if that moment never comes? What if the only moment you need is this one? Don't let the idea of perfection stop you. Perfection is an illusion. Action, however, is real, and it's what drives progress. Your future is shaped by what you do today, not by what you plan to do tomorrow. By embracing action, you align with the Stoic idea that the only thing within your control is your response to the world. You can't control the obstacles, the challenges, or the setbacks that come your way, but you can always control how you act in the face of them. Taking action isn't about waiting for everything to fall into place. It's about making things happen, regardless of the uncertainty. This is where true transformation begins, not in the waiting, but in the doing. 4. Set clear, achievable goals. Without clear goals, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly wherever the wind takes you. You might have good intentions, a desire to change, or the ambition to succeed, but without a destination in mind, you're bound to go in circles. It's easy to get lost in the hustle of life, focusing on everything and nothing at the same time. But if you truly want to make progress, you need to get specific. Vague desires like, "I want to be healthier" or "I want to be more successful" sound good, but they don't give you a clear direction. They leave too much room for uncertainty and can easily be pushed aside when life gets busy. Clear, specific goals are the compass you need to navigate your life. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself you're going to work on something? Whether it's getting fit, learning a new skill, or improving your career, and then found that life got in the way. Without a clear, actionable goal, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's like saying you want to be a better runner, but never committing to a specific distance, time, or routine. You're relying on motivation, and motivation can fade quickly. The key to consistent progress is having goals that are concrete and measurable. When you set a specific target, you create a path forward, something you can actually track and see progress in. Having clear goals doesn't just help you track your progress, it also builds confidence. Every time you hit a goal, you get a little boost, a small win that propels you forward. And that momentum is everything. It's the difference between feeling stuck and feeling like you're making progress. When you set goals that are in line with your values, you not only create a roadmap for success, but you also reinforce your own sense of purpose. You begin to realize that each small action you take brings you one step closer to the person you want to be. The beauty of clear goals is that they give you something tangible to focus on. They eliminate the overwhelm of uncertainty. Instead of feeling like you're drifting through life, you have a set direction. And while life will always throw challenges your way, having a goal to strive for helps you stay grounded. You know why you're pushing through the obstacles. You know what's on the other side, and that knowledge keeps you going even when things get tough. You don't have to wait for the perfect time to set these goals either. It's easy to think you need to wait for the stars to align, but the truth is, the perfect moment may never come. The Stoics understood this well. They taught us that action is what matters, not waiting for ideal circumstances. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Don't wait for external conditions to be perfect. If you want change, create it now through action. Set your goals today, no matter how small they seem, and begin moving toward them with purpose. Breaking down big goals into smaller, more manageable steps is also crucial. Often we think in terms of grand ambitions, but without breaking them down, they can feel overwhelming. When you focus on the smaller steps, those steps become milestones that you can celebrate along the way. Maybe your big goal is to run a marathon, but instead of fixating on that big finish line, start with the goal of running a mile without stopping. Once you hit that milestone, you build the confidence to tackle the next step, and so on. Each step gets you closer to your ultimate goal, and with each victory, no matter how small, you gain the motivation to keep going. Setting clear goals also helps you stay accountable to yourself. When you don't have a clear target, it's easy to let distractions take over and put things off. But when you commit to specific, measurable goals, you've made a promise to yourself, and that promise matters. Every day you show up and take action toward those goals, you reinforce the belief in yourself and your ability to achieve what you set out to do. And when the inevitable obstacles appear, as they always do, your clear goals give you the motivation to push through. 5. Cultivate resilience through adversity. Life isn't going to hand you a smooth path. There will be setbacks, failures, and challenges along the way. We all face them, whether it's a difficult decision at work, personal struggles, or moments when everything seems to be falling apart. The question is not whether challenges will come, but how you respond when they do. It's tempting to avoid adversity, to hope that things will just get easier, but the truth is, avoiding challenges only weakens us. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They taught us that obstacles aren't roadblocks. They're opportunities to build strength, resilience, and wisdom. When life throws you a curveball, don't shrink back. Instead, lean into it. It's easy to get caught in a mindset that says, "Why me? This isn't fair." But that mindset only keeps you stuck. Every challenge you face is a chance to learn more about yourself, to grow in ways you never expected. It's hard, it's uncomfortable, and it often feels like everything is against you, but that's where your growth lies. The Stoics believed that in every difficulty, there's an opportunity to practice virtue. They didn't see hardship as something to fear, but something to embrace, because in that hardship, there's the potential for real transformation. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The ability to face adversity and learn from it is what builds your character. Think of the challenges you've faced in the past. At the time, they probably felt overwhelming, but looking back, don't you see how they shaped you? Maybe you learned something about yourself, maybe you built new strengths, or maybe you found a resilience you didn't know you had. The more you face adversity head-on, the more capable you become at handling whatever life throws your way. Every time you push through a tough moment, it becomes easier the next time. It's like lifting weights at the gym. The more you lift, the stronger you get. And just like building physical strength, building emotional and mental resilience takes time, but it's so worth the effort. It's not about pretending adversity doesn't hurt, or that it doesn't take a toll. It does. But what if you could see every setback as a chance to grow stronger? What if instead of running from challenges, you faced them with courage, knowing that each one is part of the process that makes you more resilient? Resilience doesn't come from avoiding pain. It comes from facing it, from growing through it, and from refusing to be defeated by it. Life will throw its punches, but how you respond will define the kind of person you become. This is the heart of Stoic wisdom, embracing the things you cannot change and learning to change yourself in the process. Resilience is about learning how to bend without breaking. It's about finding your inner strength even in the face of difficulty, but it's also about being patient with yourself. Resilience isn't something you build overnight. It's something you develop over time through the accumulation of experiences, some good, some bad. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to practice resilience, and each time you come through it, you're not just surviving, you're evolving. You're becoming more capable of handling the next challenge, no matter how big or small. Think about how differently you might view obstacles if you started seeing them as stepping stones rather than setbacks. Every obstacle is a chance to prove to yourself that you can handle it. Whether it's a personal loss, a failure at work, or an unexpected twist in your life, you get to choose how you react. That's where your power lies. The more you embrace this mindset, the more you'll begin to see each challenge as part of your growth story. Instead of running from adversity, you'll walk right into it with the understanding that it's a key part of your transformation. The Stoics knew that life would never be free of challenges, and they accepted this truth. But they didn't just accept adversity passively. They saw it as an essential part of the human experience. The more we experience difficulty, the stronger we become. The more we face adversity, the more we learn about our own capacity to grow. And as you face the challenges in your life, remember that your resilience is built not in the moments of ease, but in those moments when you choose to rise above the difficulty. Your ability to stand strong, to keep going even when things seem impossible, will define the future you create. 6. Focus on what you can control. In a world that's constantly changing, where there's always something new to worry about, it's easy to feel like you're drowning in the chaos. The news is full of negativity, there's uncertainty everywhere, and other people's actions can seem like they're completely out of your hands. It's no surprise we end up feeling overwhelmed. But what if I told you that most of that stress, anxiety, and frustration comes from focusing on things you have no control over? The truth is, most of the things we worry about every day are completely outside our control. The weather, the economy, the behavior of others, none of these are things we can change. Yet we often waste a lot of energy trying to fix or change them. But here's where the Stoics offer us a powerful lesson. Focus only on what you can control. The Stoics teach us that we can't control the world around us, but we can always control our response to it. Think about that for a moment. While we can't change the people around us or the circumstances we find ourselves in, we always have a choice in how we respond. And that choice, how we respond to life's challenges, holds the key to reducing stress and regaining a sense of control. It's incredibly freeing when you realize that you don't need to carry the weight of everything you can't change. Instead, you can focus on what's within your power, your own thoughts, actions, and reactions. Whenever you find yourself feeling anxious or stressed, pause for a second and ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve this situation? Most of the time, the answer isn't about fixing the world or other people. It's about shifting your energy and focus to what you can do right now. It could be something as simple as taking a few deep breaths to calm your mind, setting a small, actionable goal for the day, or choosing to let go of something that's out of your hands. By consciously deciding to focus on what you can control, you immediately shift your mindset from a place of helplessness to one of empowerment. This shift in focus isn't just about ignoring what's going wrong around you. It's about recognizing what is within your power and acting on it. For example, when faced with a difficult situation at work or in a personal relationship, you can't control the other person's behavior, but you can control your response. You can choose how you communicate, how you handle stress, and whether or not you let the situation dictate your emotions. This simple change in mindset can dramatically reduce the stress and frustration you feel. Instead of letting external events control your emotions, you start to regain control over your own state of mind. The beauty of this is that it creates space for you to be present in the moment. When we focus on what we can control, we stop dwelling on things that haven't happened yet, or things that are beyond our reach. We become more intentional in our actions, rather than reacting mindlessly to everything that comes our way. In those moments of stress or anxiety, instead of spiraling, you can pause, refocus, and ask yourself what action you can take in that moment to move forward. This is where the wisdom of Epictetus becomes so relevant. He once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." The power lies in our ability to choose our reactions. So often we feel victimized by the world around us, as if we have no control over what happens to us. But in truth, the only thing we truly control is how we decide to approach each moment. Every time you face a challenge, you have the power to choose how you want to respond to it. You can choose peace over panic, clarity over confusion, and action over inaction. This principle also helps you to stop getting caught in the cycle of worry. Worrying about things outside of your control does nothing but drain your energy. It's like running in place. It might feel productive at first, but ultimately, you're not getting anywhere. The moment you recognize that worrying about things you can't change is a waste of energy, you can start redirecting that energy toward what you can do. And that's where real progress begins. It's also important to recognize that focusing on what you can control doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties or challenges that come your way. It means choosing how you engage with them. Life is always going to throw curveballs. It's inevitable. But the Stoics remind us that how we face those challenges is entirely up to us. We can either let them overwhelm us, or we can use them as opportunities to grow, learn, and become stronger. When you make this shift, your whole perspective on life begins to change. You stop feeling like everything is against you and start seeing yourself as a participant in the flow of life, where your actions matter. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions or ideal circumstances, you start taking responsibility for your responses. You become proactive rather than reactive, and that's where real power lies. You stop being a passenger in your own life, and instead, you grab the wheel and steer yourself toward the outcomes you want. 7. Build consistency, not motivation. Motivation is a fleeting thing. One moment you're fired up, ready to take on the world, and the next you're struggling to get out of bed. It's like a wave that crashes over you, only to disappear just as quickly. We've all been there, feeling energized one day, only to lose that spark the next. But here's the truth. Motivation isn't the key to long-term success. It's consistency that carries you through the ups and downs. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll always be waiting for the right moment to act. But here's the catch. That perfect moment may never come. So, what do you do instead? You create routines that keep you on track, no matter how you feel. Building consistency is about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work day in and day out, no matter how inspired or motivated you feel. Think about it. You don't have to be in the mood to brush your teeth or take a shower. You just do it because it's part of your routine. And that's how you should treat the things that matter most in your life. Whether it's morning journaling, exercise, or meditation, small daily habits will add up over time. The key isn't doing everything perfectly every day. It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Over time, those small actions compound and turn into massive results. This is where Stoic wisdom comes in. Marcus Aurelius had a simple but profound piece of advice. Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to be your best self. It's about taking consistent action every single day to embody the values and habits you want to cultivate. The Stoics didn't wait for motivation or external circumstances to align. They took responsibility for their actions, no matter how they felt. And that's the power of consistency. When you focus on showing up each day, even when you're not feeling your best, you build resilience. You start to realize that you can make progress even on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. And that's what makes the difference. Motivation can't be relied on because it's inconsistent, but consistency, that's what will carry you through. It's like putting in a little effort every day. Eventually, that effort adds up. Small, daily actions, no matter how insignificant they seem at the time, lead to big results. Over time, you'll look back and realize how far you've come simply because you stuck with it. Consistency is also about being patient with yourself. We live in a world that glorifies instant results, but true success takes time. It's easy to want everything right now, but the reality is that most meaningful change happens gradually. This is where the Stoics really had it figured out. They didn't rush the process. They trusted that consistent, disciplined effort would lead to progress. Instead of being fixated on results, they focused on showing up, doing the work, and letting the results come in their own time. That's the mindset that creates lasting change. The beauty of building consistency is that it becomes a habit, a part of who you are. You don't have to think twice about it. It's no longer about pushing yourself to be motivated. It's about sticking to your routines because they're now part of your daily life. Whether it's writing a page of a book every day or hitting the gym 3 times a week, consistency creates a rhythm in your life. And that rhythm is what keeps you moving forward, even when your motivation is low. It's like training a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger it becomes, and the less effort it takes to keep going. One of the best things about consistency is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't need to be at your best every day. Some days will be better than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up. Even if you can't give 100% one day, giving 50% or 75% still counts. The key is to keep moving forward, no matter what. Life won't always go according to plan, and you'll face setbacks along the way. But if you focus on showing up and staying consistent, you'll be able to navigate those challenges more easily. Consistency is the foundation that keeps you grounded when life throws curveballs. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you stick to your routine, even on the days when it feels tough, you build momentum. And that momentum is what keeps you moving forward. As the Stoics remind us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you face obstacles, don't let them stop you. Instead, let them fuel your determination to keep going. Consistency isn't about avoiding difficulties, it's about pushing through them, learning from them, and continuing to grow. 8. Embrace self-compassion. Life has a funny way of throwing curveballs, doesn't it? We set out with the best intentions, trying to make progress, to grow, but sometimes we fall short. We make mistakes, we slip up, and sometimes it feels like we're back at square one. In those moments, it's easy to turn on ourselves, to criticize ourselves for not being better, stronger, or more disciplined. But here's the thing. Stoicism doesn't mean beating yourself up when you fall short. It means being kind to yourself, especially when you fail. Embracing self-compassion is not about excusing your mistakes, but about treating yourself with the same kindness and patience you'd offer to a friend. We all know the feeling of messing up. Maybe you missed a goal, broke a habit, or let yourself down in some way. It's easy to fall into self-blame, to spiral into shame and guilt, thinking that you're not good enough. But what if you could stop that cycle? What if instead of punishing yourself for your shortcomings, you could simply acknowledge them, learn from them, and move on? That's where self-compassion comes in. It's about recognizing that you're human, that everyone makes mistakes, and that growth is a journey, not a destination. As Carl Jung wisely said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." This is a reminder that your past mistakes don't define you. It's how you respond to them that matters. The truth is, we're often our own worst critics. We wouldn't dream of speaking to a friend the way we speak to ourselves when we mess up. We'd never tell someone we care about that they're a failure just because they made a mistake. But for some reason, we're quick to judge ourselves, to tell ourselves we're not enough. Stoicism teaches us that we should show ourselves the same compassion we'd show a friend in times of struggle. When you slip up or fail, don't let the shame take over. Instead, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Failure isn't the end of the road, it's part of the process. Every misstep is an opportunity to grow, to understand yourself better, and to improve. The key is to approach your mistakes with curiosity, not judgment. What lesson can you take away from this? What's something you can do differently next time? When you embrace self-compassion, you're not excusing your mistakes. You're acknowledging that growth is a messy, imperfect process. The Stoics understood that. They didn't expect perfection, nor did they beat themselves up when things went wrong. They simply accepted life's imperfections and used them as stepping stones. They knew that failure is not defeat, it's feedback, and feedback is essential for growth. Instead of getting caught in shame, ask yourself how you can use your experiences to build a better version of yourself. Every failure, every struggle, is a chance to learn more about your strengths, weaknesses, and the areas where you can improve. It's easy to get frustrated with yourself, to feel like you're not making progress, or that you're stuck in a cycle of failure. But self-compassion helps you break free from that. It shifts your focus from what you've done wrong to what you can do better. It frees you from the weight of guilt and allows you to move forward with a clearer, more positive mindset. When you treat yourself with kindness, you're more likely to stay motivated, more likely to get back up after a fall. It's not about ignoring your mistakes. It's about giving yourself permission to learn from them without dragging yourself down in the process. We all have moments where we're not at our best. Whether it's letting a bad habit creep back in, not meeting a goal, or simply feeling down, it's okay. What matters is how you treat yourself in those moments. If you can show yourself compassion and patience, you give yourself the grace to grow and improve. You stop fighting against yourself and start working with yourself. The journey of self-improvement is not about achieving perfection. It's about embracing the process with all its ups and downs. Self-compassion doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook. It doesn't mean making excuses or avoiding responsibility. It means recognizing that you're human, that you're doing your best, and that growth takes time. When you fail, don't let shame define you. Instead, use it as fuel to learn and move forward. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Every time you treat yourself with compassion, you reinforce the belief that you are worthy of growth and change. And with each step, you get closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. 9. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude. It's one of the simplest yet most powerful tools we have to transform our mindset. Think about it. How often do you focus on what's wrong in your life? It's easy to get caught up in the things we don't have, the things that feel missing or out of reach. But when we spend all our time looking at what's lacking, we miss the abundance that's already around us. In fact, we often overlook the simple things that make our lives richer and more meaningful. The Stoics knew this well. They practiced gratitude as a way to remind themselves of what was going well, even when things weren't perfect. And that practice made all the difference in how they faced the challenges of life. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it shifts your entire perspective. It's easy to get bogged down by what's not working, but when you take a moment to reflect on what you do have, everything changes. Maybe it's a supportive friend, a job that challenges you in ways you've never experienced, or even the small joys that seem insignificant but add up to a life full of richness. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, and that small shift can have a huge impact on your mental and emotional well-being. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And gratitude is the quickest way to elevate the quality of your thoughts. The Stoics weren't blind to life's challenges. They didn't ignore the hard times or pretend that everything was perfect. But they understood that by focusing on gratitude, they could reframe their mindset and see the good, even in difficult situations. It wasn't about pretending that bad things didn't happen. It was about acknowledging them without letting them steal your peace of mind. And that's something we can all learn from. It's easy to get caught up in negativity and let it consume us. But gratitude pulls us out of that spiral. It reminds us that, no matter how tough things may seem, there is always something to appreciate. Taking time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for doesn't require a big, elaborate ritual. It's as simple as taking a moment before bed, or when you wake up in the morning to think about the things that bring you joy. Maybe it's the warmth of your bed, a comforting meal, or the kindness of someone you love. Gratitude doesn't have to be grand or life-changing. It can be the small moments that bring you peace and contentment. And when you make gratitude a habit, it becomes easier to see the good in every situation. Even when life is tough, gratitude reminds you that there are still blessings to be found. In our busy lives, we often forget to pause and appreciate what we have. We're always looking ahead, chasing after the next goal, the next achievement, the next thing that will make us happy. But what if the key to a more fulfilling life was simply looking around and acknowledging what's already good? Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for big things. It's about appreciating the small things that often go unnoticed. A warm cup of coffee, a text message from a friend, the sunshine on your face. These are the moments that make up a rich and meaningful life. And when we take the time to acknowledge them, we start to see life through a different lens. There's another important aspect of gratitude that we often overlook. It's not just about what we receive, but also about how we give. When you practice gratitude, you become more attuned to the needs of others and the ways you can give back. Gratitude isn't just about feeling thankful. It's about expressing that thankfulness by showing up for the people in your life. When you're grateful for the support of a friend, you're more likely to be there for them in return. When you appreciate the beauty of life, you become more inclined to share that beauty with others. Gratitude creates a cycle of positivity that impacts not just you, but everyone around you. So how can you make gratitude a daily practice? It starts with intention. Take a moment each day to stop, breathe, and think about what's going well in your life. It doesn't have to be complicated. Write it down in a journal, say it out loud, or simply reflect on it in silence. The act of pausing and acknowledging what you're grateful for has a profound effect on your mindset. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, but when you make time for gratitude, you start to slow down and truly appreciate the present moment. And that shift in perspective is what makes all the difference. When you make gratitude a habit, it becomes second nature. You'll start to notice the good more often, and in doing so, you'll naturally shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right. The Stoics knew this was essential to living a fulfilling life. In fact, they practiced gratitude every day as a way of grounding themselves in the present moment. They didn't just reflect on the big things, they appreciated the small moments that made life meaningful. And this is a practice we can all adopt. As Carl Jung once said, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Gratitude isn't just about looking outside at what's going right. It's about looking inside and realizing the abundance you already have. 10. Live with purpose and intention. Living with purpose is one of the most powerful ways to ensure you're making progress toward the life you truly want. So often, we get swept up in the daily grind, going through the motions, tackling tasks without really considering why we're doing them or where they're leading. We spend so much time just trying to survive the day that we forget to ask ourselves if we're actually building the life we desire. What if, instead, every action you took was deliberate, rooted in your values, and aligned with the future you want to create? That's what it means to live with purpose, and it's something we can all start doing today. When you live intentionally, you start to approach life differently. Each decision you make becomes a building block toward the person you want to become. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or for things to magically fall into place. It's about taking ownership of your life and deciding every single day that you're going to make choices that reflect your deepest desires and values. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or setbacks. Of course you will, but when you live with purpose, you're more equipped to handle those obstacles because you know why you're pushing forward. You're clear about your goals, and that clarity provides the focus and strength you need to keep moving, no matter what comes your way. Too often, we get distracted by things that don't really matter. We get caught up in activities that fill up time but don't contribute to our long-term goals. Whether it's mindlessly scrolling through social media, engaging in unnecessary drama, or staying in unhealthy patterns, distractions are everywhere. But here's the truth. Every minute you spend on something that doesn't align with your values is a minute you're not investing in your future. To live with purpose, you have to be intentional about where you focus your energy. It's about asking yourself, is this choice moving me closer to my goals, or is it just filling time? When you start asking yourself that question, you'll quickly see how much time you've been wasting on things that aren't serving your greater vision. Living with purpose doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. You don't need to have a detailed step-by-step plan for every part of your life, but it does mean being clear about what truly matters to you. What are the things that bring you joy? What values do you want to embody? What's the impact you want to have on the world? These are the questions that can guide you as you begin to live with intention. When you know what matters most, your choices become easier. You start to say no to the distractions, the things that don't serve your vision, and you start saying yes to the things that move you forward. Every day, you're shaping the future you want. When you take the time to look within, to reflect on your values and desires, you can begin to align your life with what truly matters. Living with purpose requires a deep level of self-awareness. It's not about comparing yourself to others or trying to keep up with the expectations placed on you by society. It's about getting clear on what you want, regardless of what anyone else thinks. The more you look inside, the more your path will come into focus. And when you live in alignment with that vision, every action you take will have meaning and direction. Living intentionally also helps you stay grounded. When you're clear on your purpose, it's easier to stay focused even when life throws challenges your way. Instead of getting caught up in stress, worry, or confusion, you can remind yourself of your goals and why they matter. When you live with purpose, setbacks feel less like roadblocks and more like lessons. You know where you're going, and nothing can stop you from getting there. It's not about having an easy ride. It's about knowing why you're on the journey in the first place. You don't need to wait for everything to be perfect in order to live with purpose. Sometimes we put off making intentional choices because we think we need to have everything figured out first. But the truth is, purpose isn't about waiting for the stars to align. It's about starting right where you are. Even if you don't have all the answers, you can begin making small, intentional choices today. The more you practice living with purpose, the clearer your path will become. Each choice you make, no matter how small, is a step toward the life you want. In fact, the simple act of living with purpose every day will lead to greater clarity. You'll start to see patterns in your life, understand where you're making progress, and identify areas that need more attention. It's about living with intention in every area: your career, your relationships, your health, your passions. When every part of your life aligns with your values and goals, you create a sense of wholeness that carries you through even the toughest times. Living with purpose isn't about achieving perfection. It's about consistent, intentional action toward the life you want to build. As you move forward, remember, the life you want is already within your reach. Every choice you make today is shaping the person you'll become tomorrow. So take a deep breath, live with purpose, and trust in the journey. If you're ready to dive deeper into the Stoic way of life, check out one of the videos on the screen now. And as always, thank you